Hiya Chris, great session last night. Swings coming on a treat. A few issues in there obviously in relation to the way you've been hitting driver. Quick look at you from face on now, top right, as we said yesterday. Fabulous positions going on here. Absolutely fantastic at address. Great move behind it. And this first move here, that's absolutely world class. That's fantastic. That great levers. If you can start producing that sort of move, allied to the improvements we're going to make later in regards to your balance, you're going to hit it absolutely miles. And that's a really powerful move through the golf ball. Lots of good stuff going on there from face on. If we look at where your problems are arising, Chris, and particularly in regards to your longer club, the problem we have is that even though we're trying to establish good posture, we get a little bit too far away from it. We're a little bit too much leaning into that golf ball and reaching for that golf ball. That then makes it very difficult for you to maintain your balance throughout your swing. And we illustrated that by putting these lines in place for you last night. What you're going to see is as you take the club back, the weight's going to move into the heels. You can see there how your first move is an actual rock back, almost before you take the club away, onto your heels. From there you dip back into it as you complete your turn. But then as you're coming down into the downswing, you can see now your body's trying to find where it needs to be, where its balance position is. You've rocked away from that line with your head. And now the problem you've got, big fella, is that you're stuck underneath it. If you turn through it nicely, you're going to push it to the right, even though that feels a decent swing. Conversely, you're going to feel like you're going to have to throw the hands at it as you come through. And if you do that slightly too much, you're going to get that club working over the top of the ball too much from the inside, producing a big snap hook. So what we've got to try and work on with yourself is achieving that feeling that you have when you're stood straight up. So just before you go into the golf ball and you're going through your pre-shot routine, stand up straight behind the golf ball, be aware of what that feels like under your feet, and then try and recreate that feeling when you're set up to it. Remember what we said, when you stood up behind the golf ball, you've got perfect balance. If you can re-achieve that position or that feeling at the setup, you're going to have the same perfect balance. The drill we gave you was the early extension drill, where you're going to try and set up there with the club across your chest, turn back, and then feel like you're going to hit it. That's going to give you that feeling of staying on top of the ball through impact, rather than falling back onto your heels through impact. If you go onto the TPI website, you'll see that demonstrated perfectly for you. Keep watching that through and keep trying to achieve that every time you swing the golf club. If we now look at your address position over here on the left, much more awareness of where your balance is, much taller, much better utilisation of your height there. The setup's still good, but again, you look now like you're going to make the most of your height. If you compare that to this swing down on the bottom right, you can see here, much more crouched at address. I'll just get that back for you. Compare those two together. Much more crouched position. If we now put the line up through the back of you, get rid of that. And on the head. Now from that position, there's no need to alter your balance. However, you've been conditioned to do it. So what's going to happen is, during your takeaway, there's going to be a little bit of a rock back onto your heels, but nowhere near as much as you used to do it. So as you're taking it back, still a move back onto your heels, still a little bit of a drop forward as you come into the golf at the top of the backswing. Nowhere near as much of a rock back as you're coming into impact. Much more on top of the ball as you're coming through. So what we're trying to achieve, Chris, is better balance throughout your swing. Now you've achieved better balance at setup. The throughout the swing bit is going to come from you spending time hitting driver from this setup position that you've got here on the right. So if we've got better balance at setup, we can maintain it more throughout the swing. Unfortunately, what we've got here on the right at the minute, short term, is we've got a new setup position, but your old tendencies. So you're still looking to try and maintain something, looking to try and regain your balance throughout the swing. No need to do that now, but you're still going to do it for a short period of time. As you saw last night, though, when you got it right, it was absolutely fantastic. Swings come on a ton. the goals come on a ton. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the rest of your season. Good luck with it and keep me posted. Well done.